Okay, let's talk a little bit about Harry Reid and his despicable smear of Mitt Romney. He comes out yesterday and he says, hey, I got a phone call from somebody who said that Mitt Romney hasn't paid his taxes in 10 years. Now, that's a pretty incredible statement. He hasn't paid his taxes in 10 years. Now, I think we should be able to verify that. I mean, I think Mitt Romney should be able to verify that. In fact, if that's true, then I would think that right now, seeing that Timothy Geithner is the head of the IRS, and we have seen that the IRS now targets political enemies, ask anybody in the Tea Party or 912 Project, they are using the IRS as a political weapon right now. Verifiable, they've done it. If that were true, then Mitt Romney would be going away in handcuffs right now. And you know what? It's not even a political enemy. If the guy hasn't paid his taxes in 10 years, he should go to jail. Shouldn't he? Shouldn't he?
Absolutely. If it's true, there's not one shred
Can I
of
ask you, if Mitt Romney hasn't paid his taxes in 10 years, how dumb is he? He's been running for president for the last 6. Did he really think he would get away? I mean, he's not exactly a Tea Party guy. He's not like, hey, income tax, I'm against the income tax thing. It's not like he's going to try to make some political statement with it.
Right.
So he just have to be a stupid tax evader.
And I'm not I've never not paid my taxes, but my impression of how the IRS works is you don't get away with that for 10 years when you're making especially when you're making $20 million a year.
Especially as high profile as Mitt Romney is.
I was going to say, if you're high profile,
no way.
You definitely don't get away.
But I don't think any average person, if you're making $50,000 a year, you're telling me you can just do nothing with taxes for 10 years and get away with it?
I think there are those people that have done that before. And I think a lot of them are. No, I think a lot of them are political statements. Mm-hmm. And they'll say,
those guys wind up getting surrounded by the FBI.
They do, especially when they're high profile. They're the first the IRS goes at.
When they make a big deal out of it, then yeah.
He's running for president. And so Harry Reid comes out and says he hadn't paid taxes. I got a phone call.
From a Bain investor.
Yeah,
who?
Who's in Bain investor? I got a phone call from one of Bob Smith's employees. And one of Bob Smith's employees, not even an employee, one of Bob Smith's contractors, one of Bob Smith's at the hardware store. You know Bob Smith's hardware? A guy who walked into the store and bought a hammer from him last week gave me information he's not paying his taxes. How would you know? How would the hammer guy know that the hammer salesman...
Right. How does a Bain investor know that Mitt Romney didn't pay his taxes?
Right.
And then he follows it up with this. Now, do I know that's true? Well, I'm not certain. But obviously, he can't release those tax returns. How would it look? Are you kidding me?
That's unbelievable.
That's what qualifies as an accusation now against
Do you remember what they said about us when we had the proof that Van Jones was a member of Storm? He was a founding member of Storm, a communist revolutionary group, and they said, look at, he's just smearing him. We have proof. Here it is. Here he is saying these things. Here is his own writings doing these things. Are you kidding me? And they said we were smearing him. And look what they're doing to Mitt Romney. It's despicable, Harry Reid. It is despicable. Mm-hmm. And I know I will have to answer for things. And believe me, I don't look with glee to the day that I have to stand in front of the judgment bar and be judged. And I'm not judging you, but you will be judged just as I will be judged. And when that's so dishonest on what you're doing. I don't even recognize you anymore. I really don't know even who you are anymore. Do you know who you are? Because he went a step further. And to me, this is the worst part. He says about Mitt Romney's father, who was a good man. And say what you want about Mitt Romney. I don't agree with Mitt Romney, but he is a good, honorable, decent man. I can tell you that. He is a good, decent, honorable man. And for Harry Reid, of all people, to come out and say, George Romney would sure be disappointed in him.
Must be so embarrassed about his son.
Can you imagine saying that about your father, your dead father, who is a good man? George Romney was really a good man, and so is Mitt. I may disagree with Mitt, but he's a good, decent man. And for him to come out and say, oh, George Romney, boy, he must be disappointed. For what? You don't even have any evidence of anything.
No.
My gosh, that
unbelievable.
Despicable
Harry,
is the right
despicable.
word. Despicable is the right
It is
word.
despicable.
Pathetic.
And it's this kind of stuff, you will never win in the end, Harry. You will never win with this kind of stuff. That's not who Americans are. They're not those people.
He's either a bad guy or he's senile at this point. I mean, he says so many crazy things, and he says so many things that you're just like, what is this guy
just
doing?
Sold his soul.
He's just sold his soul. He honestly may be going down the road of just losing it.
No, I think it's possible.
Pat, what do you think?
I think he's a bad guy.
Just a bad guy?
I'm
fine with that.
He wasn't, though. He wasn't always a bad guy.
Well,
And I don't want to say he's a bad guy. I don't know if he's a bad guy, but I will tell you that he's doing all bad guy stuff.
I mean, how would he like it if we said, you know what? I heard I got a phone call yesterday that Harry Reid's been producing pornography for 35 years.
Oh, my gosh, Pat, really? Do you have any proof of that?
Child porn.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, no, I don't know for certain, but can you imagine how bad that would be for his political career?
Well, he wouldn't be able to come out and say that because it would hurt his career.
And his dad would be so embarrassed by that.
My son is a child porn manufacturer.
Yeah, child
Can you imagine that?
Harry Reid and child porn.
This is what he's doing.
Wow.
This is what he's doing. Harry, please, for your soul, Harry, get out of Washington or get down on your knees and ask God to enlighten you on this. You can disagree with politics. We can disagree.
Mm-hmm.
You can disagree. We can fight it out, duke it out, fight strong. But this is way beyond. This is way beyond decency. Way beyond.